So you know how they were saying stuff like democracy's on the ballot, and of course Walter Kim nails it when he says democracy isn't on the ballot, you sillies. It is the ballot. Can you imagine if the election went wrong, we were going to lose our democracy. How could that be possible that people are voting, which is the definition of democracy, and then democracy loses? No, just the election didn't go the way you wanted. So the whole end of democracy line may be the dumbest, most desperate campaign theme of my lifetime. I can't wait for it to be over. And so Bill Maher, we made fun of Bill Maher for saying the same thing. And then our good friend Joe put this together, and it's kind of funny, so let's play it.
Is really the most important election ever. So, okay, yes, you should vote. And it should be for the one party that still stands for democracy preservation.
At first, I thought he was joking. He's not joking. The democracy in the United States was stolen a long time ago, Bill, which is why 80% of workers live paycheck to paycheck. Half the country can't afford a $400 emergency, and workers haven't had a raise since 1980. We still don't have health care. We still don't have a living wage. And we have people living under every bridge. We don't live in a democracy, which is why we can send $100 billion to the most corrupt country in Europe, while we still don't take care of our own people and they go bankrupt when they get sick. This idea that somehow one party cares about democracy while the others doesn't. You know, they both serve the same corporatocracy, an oligarchy run by corporations. And instead of having a dictator, the dictator has now been replaced with the nameless, faceless corporate state, which controls every part of our being. They control our free speech, what medical treatments we get to experience. The only difference between a Democrat and a Republican is the speed at which their knee hits the ground when a donor enters the room. We don't live in a goddamn democracy, you fucking moron, and you know it. But you don't want to admit it. You want to pretend because it makes you feel comfortable. What about January 6th was supposed to change our mind? A bunch of yahoos in pajama bottoms and buffalo helmets without guns taking a shit in Nancy Pelosi's office? That's what you thought was going to take over our country? That's why they didn't have security there on purpose? So this very thing could happen, and so idiots like you can repeat it? You should be screaming about Citizens United and how corporate captured our government is, because the Democrats have complete control of the party right now, of the government, yet they're not talking about getting rid of corporate money in government, which is the thing that actually takes us from a democracy to an oligarchy.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
Turncoat Don did that. Turncoat Don, fantastic work, Turncoat Don. Thank you so much. We put him on our Christmas list, Misha, please, so we can send him a nice Christmas gift. I just got a couple of Christmas gifts that we're going to be sending to people. Did you see it?
No.
Did you see what came? Oh, no? Okay.
I haven't seen it yet.
All right. So anyway, that was a great job, and that annoyed me so much. The people saying democracy's on the ballot.
Ugh.
Jesus Christ. I have very smart friends, people who are politically savvy. I just had a good friend who I respect and is hilarious tell me today that I don't agree with you on that, Jimmy. I think the Democrats are better. And then I'm like, well, how? Well, here, I'll tell you exactly what they said.
I'm interested to know what they said when I say, how so?
Okay.
Right.
Here's what they said.
Because they stand for the things they won't do.
They said, he says, while I agree with you, to me, the Democrats and Republicans are not the same. This isn't we don't have Coke, it's Pepsi, okay? This is we don't have Coke, it's a glass of warm syphilis-infused piss. I just don't agree that defending the right has merit. And I said, yeah, that's where we have a big disagreement. The Democrats are not the lesser of two evils. Bill Clinton was not the lesser of two evils to George Bush the first. Barack Obama was not the lesser of two evils with McCain. And Joe Biden is not the lesser of two evils with Trump. Well, why wasn't Bill Clinton the lesser of two evils? Because Bill Clinton got stuff done that Republican presidents could not get done. What's that, Jimmy? Like NAFTA. So George Bush the first tried to pass NAFTA, but the Blue Dog Democrats, the Democratic Party, which at that time used to actually care about the unions, and used to represent them, they wouldn't vote for NAFTA because of their ties to the unions. Well, Bill Clinton became president, and then he used his bully pulpit and the power of popularity to give cover to those blue dog Democrats so they can vote against unions' interests and vote for NAFTA, which took the legs out from underneath unions for 30 years. And so when you say that Bill Clinton was the lesser of two evil, he was not. And that's not my idea. That's Thomas Frank's idea, who wrote Listen Liberal. He also wrote What's the Matter with Kansas? And then he wrote Listen Liberal. And Listen Liberal explains that how the Democrats are actually not the lesser of two evil, that because they appear to be nicer, they get more shit done that's evil. For instance, NAFTA. And then Bill Clinton went on to deregulate the broadcasting, right? So our media companies, there used to be 50 giant media companies, and then Bill Clinton in 1996 did the Telecommunications Act, which took us from 50 giant media companies to 6 gigantuan, I just made up that word, media companies. And now everybody in media and every news person works for the same people.
Wait, are you telling me we have less media corporations than we do wars currently?
That's right.
I thought you were going to say he got stuff done. Republicans can only dream of getting done.
That's one of them.
And that was on Epstein Island alone.
Yes, and then he went on to deregulate Wall Street, which and get rid of Glass-Steagall, which was a right-wing Wall Street dream for always, and they did it. And then they crashed the economy within 10 years.
Wow. Let's see Kevin McCarthy get that done.
So that's what that's what Bill Clinton did. And then Barack Obama, he wasn't a change from George Bush. He was a continuation. He took George Bush's defense secretary, put him right in his cabinet, and the rest of Barack Obama's cabinet came from Citigroup and email. That got revealed from WikiLeaks, which is why they're trying to kill him. So his entire cabinet came from Wall Street, Barack Obama's, which is why he took us from 2 wars to 7 and kicked 5.1 million families out of their homes while he made sure the bankers got their bonuses. Now, they would have never let John McCain do that stuff. Take us from 2 wars to 7, expand, drop more bombs than George Bush. That's what Barack Obama did. He tortured Chelsea Manning and tried to kill Julian Assange. And then Barack Obama deported more Hispanics, twice as many almost, than Donald Trump did in his first term. So do you understand that he wasn't the lesser of two evil? He actually makes evil more possible. So same thing with Joe Biden. Do you think they would have let Donald Trump start 2 nuclear wars, which is what they're trying to do right now? No, they wouldn't have. People would have been afraid. But now people go to sleep because Joe Biden is president, just like they went to sleep when Barack Obama. So this idea that the Republicans are the greater evil and Democrats are lesser evil, according to Thomas Frank and according to me, is bullshit. So you are if you think that, you've been duped. Go ahead.
He's asking the wrong question. How come we only get 2 evils?
Right.
Shouldn't the richest country have like 4 evils to pick from?
So I went on to say, both parties are going to deny you health care. Both parties are going to deny you a living wage. And both parties are spending $1 trillion on the war machine while denying you everything else. They want you to think there's a difference. The difference is, ironically, that the Democrats are actually capable of committing more evil because people think they are less evil.
Yes.
My friend responds with, yep, we disagree. The left has better ideas and more moral character.
Oh, so wait, hold on.
Let me finish. Okay. Ted Cruz, the Trumps, Jim Jordan, these people are not equivalent to AOC and Bernie, etc. I can't name one good person on the right. Oh, so I said, how about the 54 Republicans who just voted against sending billions of dollars to Nazis? Wouldn't that count as being better morally? But that misses the point anyway. What's the point of having AOC and Bernie in Congress when they go along with the party 100% anyway and in no way challenge them? Getting caught up in personalities is what the establishment wants us to do, and it's a huge mistake. Look at the outcomes. AOC and Bernie have not once used their power or their leverage or position to advocate for us. They're actually shouted us down and called us names and said we are being paid to advocate against them. They are despicable. They all voted for this war machine, and now Bernie calls anti-war protesters paid actors. There's no bottom, and there's no moral superiority from the Democrats to Republicans. So people still say that. And that's a smart guy who I like a lot, and he's very funny. And so go ahead. You want to say something?
Yeah, he just basically said the thing of like, well, if I had to choose, I'd rather be molested by a priest than some homeless guy, because at least a priest has good ideas. It's a spiritual person who's molesting me.
Yeah.
And it's lesser because a good man is molesting me.
Joe Biden is denying you health care right now.
But it's
Joe Biden is denying you a living wage. Joe Biden is denying you debt relief. Joe Biden is keeping the prisons filled. Joe Biden is keeping
good man.
The war machine. So this idea that again, the idea to not fund war is now a right-wing idea, and that's a pretty good idea to not fund war.
Man, I'll never forget when I learned.
So I think that trumps a lot. Go ahead.
Like when I learned pro wrestling was fake for sure years ago. We went to some ECW match in Philly, and then we came out, the two main rivals got in the van together, and I was like, you know what? I don't think that guy did kidnap that other guy's son.
So if you keep thinking that the Democrats are more moral or have better ideas, but they just can't implement them ever, and they just end up all agree. The parties agree on all the important things. They agree on war. They agree on denying you health care. They agree on denying you a living wage. They agree on tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires. They agree on the border. They agree. Biden is finishing Trump's wall in Arizona. They agree on all the important things. You know that Barack Obama deported twice as many Hispanics almost than Donald Trump. They agree on all the important things.
He's missing the point.
100% missing the point.
Well, the thing that's amazing is, it's not Coke and Pepsi. He don't sound bright, by the way. Just saying. One's Coke and Pepsi. It's not Coke and Pepsi. One's Coke and one is syphilis P or whatever the hell it's on. By the way, Coke is poison, just so you know. Genius. Secondly, your masters are going to decide in the next few years that you're going to be drinking that syphilis P.
That's right.
Because it don't make no difference to them.
That's right.
But you're looking at Hulk Hogan versus the Iron Sheik like a nitwit. Your friend's not bright.
He is. We'll see you November 19th and 20th in Austin, Texas. November 26th, that's the Saturday after Thanksgiving in Burbank. And then all December, we're going to be in Los Angeles doing Friday night shows. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all the tickets and become a premium member. While you're there, you get all of our videos unedited. jimmydore.com, not Jimmy Dore Comedy.